Let's go ahead and create this awesome Natt inspired intro and unlock some of the tips and tricks behind it. We don't have time to waste. Let's jump straight into the content. As far as possible, I'm just trying to make use of stock footages so as to make these editing techniques as generic as I can. For the opening shot, all I have is just a random video of a podcast, which is nothing but a stock footage worth about 2 to 3 seconds long. So this video, if I play it, it looks something like this. And towards the end, I apply the fade out effect. Under the animation out, I apply the fade out effect. And to recreate this piece, I opened up Canva, selected the green color behind, went to elements, took this element shape, applied the color white, searched for photo frame, took this photo frame and I added a photo onto it, added some text and added a logo of Spotify. Click on share, download, PNG, transparent, and click on download and bring the item into the Capcut editor. Bring the image to the timeline and place it over the video, and towards the end of the clip, let me go and apply the animation out and slide down option so that if I play, you will see something like this. The next step is, once this slides down, simultaneously there is a blue face which is slided up. Let me bring the image onto the timeline. So the overall effect looks something like this. This image slides down and at that very same instance, the other image slides up. So for this clip, I went to in and applied the slide up. Creating the blue face is pretty simple. Let me show you how. Select the image you want, crop it, expand the face, click on edit photo, BG remover, which is a pro option. Once you have removed it, trim the rest of the areas, select magic eraser, expand the portion and erase the portions which you don't want, which is everything except the face. So you can remove whatever you have selected. Give it some time, and once this portion is erased, come back, select duotone, select the sea blue. If you want, you can play around with the intensity as well as the highlights and shadows till you are satisfied. And once you have the image, go to elements, select shape, bring the color back to white, put it over his eyes and download this as a PNG. Make sure the background is green. Download as a PNG with transparent. Click download and bring it back to the editor. For the next section, let me have a black JPG, which is nothing but a plain black JPG. Select that, change the opacity to around 65 or 66, whichever you want. Go right to the start of this image, mask, horizontal, pull it right to the top, place a keyframe, and by the time this image fully comes up, I want this to fully come down. And to make it a bit more awesome, let me just feather it a bit and bring it right down to the bottom. So if I place, it should look something like this. This image goes down. While the face is coming up, the background is coming from top to bottom simultaneously. So it looks something like this. And while this comes up, I also want a black grid. Let me place a black grid over this one right underneath, so that the moment this face is fully visible, I'm also seeing the black background behind the scene, and I have applied the animation fade in. So the overall animation looks something like this. The face comes up, the gradient goes down, and along with that, the black grids also fade in. To get this black grids, all you need is to search for black grids in Google and select one of these which you prefer. Now comes the interesting pieces of the tutorial. Let me place the blue circle. It's just a random blue gradient circle which I created in Canva. Let me put the blue circle right on his forehead, and I apply two text with the text Dopamine. The exact font he uses, I don't know, so I'm just replacing it with a random font which I found in the Capcut itself. The name is confectionery for this text. Apply the animation. Under the loop, I selected twist, which is a pro effect. I applied the same thing to the next text, which is rush. So together it reads dopamine rush, and I have applied the same animation effect for the bottom text as well. So twist applied to both top as well as the bottom text. Now all you need is to extend this as far as possible and select them, right click, create a compound clip. So by the time this comes, initially let's apply a mask circle. Make it as small as possible. Place it right at the center. Mark a keyframe. Click on Shift and press the right arrow, which jumps 10 frames, and we expand the mask. And apply feather slightly. And if we play, we should see something like this. One very important point you should keep in mind. Anytime you use mask, Capcut will eventually make the application slow. You could go and click this 3-line hamburger menu, choose preview and select the best performance so that it plays the video smoothly. But still, the more you use mask, the slower the response of the Capcut application will be. Coming to the last portion, which I believe is the reason most of you would be watching this video. For this wavy line effect, go to motion array. Under motion graphics, search for animated cartoon elements pack, which contains this twinkling stars as well as this wavy effect. I'll drop the links to these assets in the description box. If you have a Pro Motion Array subscription, it will be a straight download for you. Before proceeding, let me show you one cool trick which can help us pull off this effect. Go to Capcut, click on these 3 lines, click on Export Still Frame, which will take a snapshot of this at this point. Now take that snapshot to Canva and just draw 9 lines on top of this like this. Search for lines, select any of these lines, it doesn't matter. Just draw 9 lines over it and bring this to Capcut. Now take that image and put it right underneath the original one. We will eventually delete it, so it doesn't matter. Just place it beneath this original image. Once we download the actual zip pack, you will see something like this, where there is a glow folder inside of which you will see all this stuff. Select the sweet pack element, this one, and this twinkling star. Now bring this wavy stuff in between here, put it here, extend as far as possible and put it right along these lines so that you have a decent symmetry once you put them. Make a copy and take the second one and put it over this line. Take another copy put it here as the third one. Take a copy, put the fourth one at this point. Fifth one right at the center. Sixth one towards the left side. Number 7 goes towards the left side of this one. Number 8, a tad below that. You could adjust its position whichever way you want. And last but not the least, number 9 on the other ear, something like this. Position wise, you can still refine it whichever way you want, but I'm just showing you the technique. Now, once you have placed all these lines, you could go and delete the original base image which we have put just for position purpose. Select all these 9 images and make it into a compound clip. And as the last piece, at the start, select mask, select circle, put a keyframe, and adjust it over the face. After 10 frames, so shift right arrow, one more keyframe, and adjust the face accordingly. Jump one more 10 frames, put another keyframe, and this time expand the whole stuff. So if you play the whole clip at this point, it should look something like this. Now the only thing left is to add the twinkles. So let me bring those twinkles and just sprinkle over the actual face. So by the time the text comes up, I can put one here. So the star would be somewhere here. I can adjust its position wherever I want. Once this finishes, let's bring in the next one. And once this finishes, let's bring in the last one. So if I just scrub over it, you'll see that the star twinkles at random places. And as the last possible piece, let me bring in the actual audio, and if I play the whole clip from start to finish, two small points that I want to come on video and discuss about. First of all, thanks a lot for the enormous support that everybody has shown for the initial tutorial. I truly appreciate that. There is an even bigger and better tutorial in the pipeline which I hope to release in a month. It takes some time to go research, find the right assets, record, edit. It takes at least 2 to 3 weeks for that. Point number 2, there was quite a number of dislikes for the initial Natt tutorial. If it is a hate related, I totally understand, that's fine. But if it is something that I can improve, it would be extremely helpful if you just drop the reason in the comments so that I can bring you bigger, better tutorial. That wraps this tutorial. Drop a like if you find the content useful. Consider subscribing if you find value in the content. I'll see you soon in yet another tutorial. Thank you and bye-bye.